Years ago, I played Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the Sega Genesis around the time it came out and became a fan during the height of Sonic's popularity and was there during the decline and almost death of Sonic as a whole. It's no surprise that many games attributed to this in many ways and facets, but the real question is, does Sonic Frontiers break this cycle? Or is it just another mediocre busted Sonic game that is not fun to play? The movement in this game feels fluid and optimal, not restrictive or glitchy to the point it's an almost unplayable mess, not like the automation and forces or missing moves in the moveset like in Sonic 06. And there's even a menu where you can change Sonic's performance if you need him to slow down, change his turning speed, etc. In fact, there's even a menu asking you this when you start a new game, but it's good to know the option is there. And Boost is back from Sonic World Adventure. Unlike the boost in Unleashed Colors and Onward, however, in Frontiers it's a skill that can lead you to running into an enemy and taking damage. No more invincible boosting anymore. While moving around you can run freely on walls and grind rails floating everywhere with great speed and velocity, and collision from many of these spots are highly well done. Wall climbing is also a thing and is slightly different to running up and down a steep wall or incline. Momentum is in the game too, and Sonic feels good to control in this game. It feels similar enough to Unleashed, but new enough to be its own thing that once you get used to the changes, it's a fun experience. Cyberspace does have some options restricted though, but it's mostly not movement related. Which leads me to my next topic. There's a combat system, allowing Sonic to do much more than just a basic homing attack, which reminds me of Sonic Unleashed, but faster paced with a parry and dodge mechanic system similar to Sekiro, instead of the Werehog's God of War-like stages. And when combined with the fast fluid movement of Sonic's signature speed, it's fun chaining a dodge and parry to speeding around to run into a boss, and rinse and repeat. It really does feel like chaining an SSS rank in DMC5 or nailing a long trick combo in a Tony Hawk game, as some has said. And the more you play, the more skills you can unlock, be it experience, collectibles, or story progression. It makes the gameplay loop that more satisfying and fun. Speedrunning in the community is going to be fun to see. The open zone areas remind me a lot of Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic 06's hub areas actually, but more fleshed out and with more to see and do. There's many quests and mini games that unlock parts of the map screen, collectibles to collect that unlock other locations on the map. Some of which are enemies themselves that are around the environment, and with the movement and combat, it always feels like there's something to do. In fact, the loading screen usually has some sort of tutorial that is on a timer that allows you to practice some cool movement tricks. When comfortable with Sonic's movement, you can get creative for getting across the map from point A to point B. And the environment looks beautiful and reminds me a lot of other games. This spot in particular reminds me of Aquatic Zone from Sonic 2 on the Genesis, and some areas remind me of the Black Knight. Ruins scattered about floating above reminds me of Sky Sanctuary, which yes, there's a lore reason why you see rails randomly strewn about the sky. In fact, there's even a day and night cycle too with a weather system. And the story for the game? Well, I won't give you spoilers, but what I will say is that the game is very mature and not goofy like recent games. It takes itself very serious. There's a lot of time spent with the main characters and shows a lot of emotion. Ian Flynn and the team did a great job. Fans of the original Sonic the Hedgehog trilogy and Knuckles on Mega Drive and the Sonic Adventure lore will be very happy with this game's story. And the progression with the story is all tied to the previous mentioned things in the open zone areas requiring you to acquire this many keys to unlock the next story beat. But again, everything flows together very well. This game is fun to play, and honestly I got sidetracked playing it instead of writing down notes to write and record this video. And the Coco? Well, they are like the Chow in many ways, but unlike Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, it's more akin to Zelda Breath of the Wild. However, when standing still you will see how many you collected so far standing around you, which the more you find allows you to upgrade your speed and ring count. Just another reason to roam around, again tying into a satisfying game loop of collect, battle, run, battle, etc. I played the Switch version by the way, so if you're wondering, yes, it looks good even though there are obvious downgrades, but it plays very smooth dock, which is all this footage you've been watching is. Some cutscenes are pre-rendered, but many are in engine like seen here. I yet to beat that boss, and he's still roaming. Which also leads me to the music. It's Sonic, it's always damn good, but this game has some great music too. The team did a really great job here as well. I've been listening to the songs on the public YouTube channel for days, and I will be getting the soundtrack when it releases. Hope it goes on Spotify too. A lot of you will be pleased if you missed a Sonic game with a mature story with really good gameplay. I like the open zone concept with cyberspace levels strewn about, though I wish the cyberspace levels were more varied in combat than just homing attacks, which makes me wonder just how a sequel will be, because they have something special here. That being said, if you have been sick of Sonic's last few 3D outings and was hoping this game is as good as it's said to be, I highly recommend checking this game out. It's up there in my opinion as one of the best Sonic games. If you're still skeptical though, go and watch more previews, reviews, and impressions. I'm BioAlpha, and I'm signing off. Oh, and yeah, that was clickbait. The thumbnail and title. I mean, clickbait does mean content whose main purpose is to attract attention and encourage visitors to click on a link. I know I hated it once too, still do, but